We are in the pre-season period of Midnight for the next 2 weeks. There are a number of things you can do to gain player power in preparation for Heroic Week on March 17 and M+ on March 24. There are currently 3 sources of good gear. You can get 4 guaranteed champion items at 246 very quickly on any character through Renown, and then you can get veteran track gear from Hard Praise and Mythic Zero dungeons. Any slot you don't get from that, you can fill with Adventurer track gear using the same methods that were used back in early access. The champion gear comes from doing the 4 zone events after reaching a certain renown with each faction. Upon reaching these renowns, the faction's quartermaster will give you a quest. For Silvermoon Court, you need to reach renown 9, then go to Southerial's Soiree and do the weekly quest chain until you get one that requires you to defend a runestone. To activate it, someone needs to do the other weeklies in the zone and then deposit the reward to charge the runestone. You might come across one that is already active. There is a bug where you won't have this rep quest for the head. If that happens, just do the event anyways and it will probably show up on the quartermaster after and autocomplete. The quest to activate the event for the first time is in Silvermoon, by the way. You have to do that. For a Marnie tribe, you need to reach renown 9, then go into an abundance and complete it. It doesn't matter what you do in the abundance. There is a bug where you won't have the rep quest for the neck. If this happens, just do an abundance anyways and go back to the quartermaster and the quest will be there probably. For Harati, you need to reach renown 8. This event is not repeatable, so make sure you have the quest for the belt before you do the event. Once you have the quest for the belt, go into the long hall at the top of the den and do the weekly quest from Zurashar Kasameh. And for Singularity, you need to reach renown 7. Take the quest from the quartermaster in the bottom right of the hub and then go to the Stormarian event, wait for it to start, and wait out the 3 waves. This is the only one of these champion pieces that was available in early access. Grinding these reps is not very hard. I recommend doing the Midnight Lore Hunter achievement and Midnight the Highest Peaks achievement and then finishing it off with a few side quest chains. Once you get these champion items, you are done with player power from rep forever. There is no Enchanted Crest equivalent this season. The next source of gear is Prey. Hard Praise have opened this week and the first 2 Hard Praise of the week will reward a random 233 veteran track piece. To unlock Hard Praise, you need to do 1 normal prey and then a quick quest chain. Doing a normal prey will not reduce the amount of loot you can get from Hard Prey, they are separate. Once you are done with these, you should go to a sweep of all 8 dungeons on Mythic difficulty. This is on a weekly lockout, so you only need to do this once per week. Each boss will drop for 1 group member a 240 veteran track piece with a chance for a second. It seems like on average you only get 6 items per full clear. If you want to be fully optimal, you should stack your M0 group with players of the same armor type, but it doesn't really matter and not much will actually be tradable. After doing these 3 things, you are done with important gear for the week. If you have any really low eye level slots, you can fix them with World Quest or buy 220s at the auction house, or grind delves until you get that slot. Speaking of delves, they are not very useful right now. You can only push up to tier 7 and they only give Adventurer Crests until the season starts. I recommend pushing up to tier 7 once so you have it unlocked and then ignoring delves for now unless you want to level up your Valera. Now to talk about crest acquisition and usage, Adventurer Crests are free to spend. There is no real way to mess up Adventurer Crests and they are mostly useless once Heroic Week starts. The cap is 100 per week, which you get pretty passively, and every event in weekly gives a pinnacle cache that awards 20 Adventurer Crests past the cap. I believe you can get 240 Adventurer Crests per week. I recommend doing your M0 run and then upgrading every slot that you are still using Adventurer on up to 237. Veteran Crests are to your discretion. If you want maximum power in Heroic Week, you should save every Veteran Crest and use them optimally before your first Heroic Raid. If you use them early, you might get a champion upgrade in that slot, as many things that reward champion gear will unlock that week, meaning you would waste some crests. But it also kind of doesn't matter, and the very worst case scenario is you will lose some fractional DPS in Heroic Raid and Heroic Week. So if you want to send Veteran Crest now, you can. Veteran Crest crafting is also not like Weathered Crest crafting used to be. It costs 80 crests to craft a 246, but it only costs 40 crests to upgrade an M0 item to 246. So veteran crafting is not crest efficient at all. You might want to craft embellishments though, I'm not sure of the numbers on that. Now you do not passively cap on veteran crests at the moment. Currently you get 10 veteran crests for each M0 completion, so 80 total, and 10 veteran crests for each hard prey, so 20 total or 40 if you do all 4 preys. The only method I have found to get extra veteran crests is to farm repeatable hard preys. Each one gives 15 crests. You will need to do 6 extra preys to cap your crest at 200 in the first week. My tip for preys is to stay in the area where the initial world quest is and go around disarming traps. My hard preys typically last 6 to 8 minutes, but some zones are worse than others and you can't do this for the full prey. And champion crests seem to not exist yet. I assume they will become available in Heroic Week and I'm not sure what their cap will be. Now for sparks, you can get 2 sparks in the first week. 1 spark comes from the World Tour quest, which has you do every zone event once. To see this quest on an alt, you need to do the campaign skip at Soridormi on the left side of the the inn. Then it will become available at Lorthamar in the center. The second spark comes from a weekly at this tent by the bank. The fastest completion is the Argentina quest. You simply use your Argentina key toy, buy 3 toasting brews, and then use them on players in the inn. Takes less than a minute. It is unclear how our spark acquisition rate is. You might be able to have 3 sparks on March 10 and 4 sparks on March 17. Do not look at the currency for sparks, it is misleading and off by 1. Instead look at the sparks in your inventory. By the way, if you weren't aware, full sparks are the same as half sparks last season, so now it takes 2 sparks to craft something or 4 sparks to craft a 2-hander. That is essentially all you need to know for gearing right now. None of this really matters. It is purely for power and efficiency and Heroic Week. Once Mythic Plus opens up on March 24, everything done here is completely irrelevant, so if you're a more casual player or a late season M+ player, you don't really need to worry about this.